Hey there, Film Fights with Friends fans, and welcome to another episode of Film Fights with Friends. I am your host, Paul Varacchi, and with me, as always, is my partner in crime,
Stephen Koepfer. Dude, so today is Season 2, Episode 21, but in total,
it rounds off pretty well. I like the sound of what you're about to say.
It's our 50th episode.
50. It's almost monumental.
Let's clink a glass to that, dude. 50
episodes. Who would have thought?
I know, right? It's all Matt's fault. Our producer, Matt Kaplowitz. This is all his fault.
It's like 50 hours of us more.
Hey, you guys, Steve, you ever think about doing a podcast
with Paul?
No, then I was like, yeah, but I gotta bring somebody down with me. Hey, Paul, you want to do a podcast with me?
Fuck it.
50 episodes later.
I do believe that the first time somebody mentioned it to us was the day we were having our discussion, in quotes, about silverware and how it should go up or down in the dishwasher.
Oh, that's right.
Someone was like, you guys should make a podcast.
We were debating the knife facing up or down.
And I was like,
Paul agreed for the sharp knives face down, but I was saying I do it for the butter knives and the other ones too.
No, I say that's because you grab it like a fucking idiot and you should just grab it from the side and then you're good.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, weigh in the comments. You put all the
butter knives have got to go face up because you got to clean the butter shit on there. If you get in the silverware and all those lines and the squares, the water can't get in there.
I get it. That's why I put the spoons and the forks face up.
It's also why we will both agree, rinse your motherfucking dishes before you put them in the dishwasher and you won't have that problem.
Look, Paul, you'll be happy. You will be happy.
Oh, there's no sediment on the inside of the glass.
See, Paul, every time, like if this beer, for those listening, I'm drinking a
By the way,
beer.
being a chef, we look at all the things when it comes to our restaurant, to the glasses, to the silverware, everything. Everything is in our minds. Everything plays into the food experience.
So what Paul has taught me is that if the bubbles stick to the inside of your glass when you pour a beer or a champagne or something like that, that means you did not clean your glass.
It means you have a dirty fucking glass.
So the bubbles stick to it. So I am showing right now, you can see if you're watching the video, that this glass is clean.
So you guys are going to learn something today.
This is my Mandalorian.
If you ever go to a restaurant and you pour anything with bubbles in a glass and the bubbles stick to the side of the glass, you're drinking out of a fucking dirty glass.
Yeah, there's probably like soap stuff on there that's sticking, the bubbles are sticking to it.
At least that's clean dirt.
That's true. That's true. So dude, we've got Garrett Schulte on the show today.
What a great interview.
Yes.
I mean, obviously I'm pretty sure that every interviewer likes, having someone that they know on the show.
But for our 50th, to have somebody that's trained here with us, that I met him, I brought him to the gym after he was a B camera operator on a film that I worked on. And then he moved to LA sometime after that, where he actually trained a little bit with our buddy Hugh Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm. Hugh!
But he wrote, directed, appeared in, edited this film. And it's now available on Amazon and Apple. You can check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And
he did the color, right?
He did color correction.
Which honestly,
he did the sound design.
And the sound design.
Dude, this what I love about this interview is a testament. Like, I don't ever want to hear anybody say they can't do it.
Right? This guy got it fucking done.
He got the crew. He got the actors.
And what he didn't know, he
skeleton
learned.
Crew. What he didn't know, he learned.
Mm-hmm.
And it started in 2021, and it got distributed in 2025, and he made it happen. It's so inspirational. I think it's a testament. Like, so anybody who ever says, I'll never get my movie out there, or I'll never do bullshit.
It's not. Yes, that's right. You'll never get your movie out there. You is the key word in what you're fucking saying.
Yes, it's doable. It's possible.
Mm-hmm. You will not get your movie out there, but you will also get your movie out there if you tell yourself you will, and you take the steps. And not even proper, just fucking go for it.
And like the lesson that he talks about learning is letting go of the idea of what you thought your movie was, and sort of embracing what the movie is, because this is like your calling card. This is his first feature that he got out, right? So this is his calling card, and he was so committed to making sure it's the best possible. Like he was talking about the post-production, right? The best possible product for all the people that worked for him on this.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's funny how, so many people will look at their own project a certain way or something that they're doing a certain way. And then other people are like, no, just do it. Just do it this way. Don't, I get it, but no one else gets it. So just do it this way.
Yeah. He's super inspirational. I think you guys are going to really dig this interview, especially if you're a aspiring filmmaker or working on a film right now and feeling discouraged, maybe. Like, this is a great interview for you to hear.
And it's realistic. It's not. Yeah, there's no sparkles thrown on it for you. You know what I mean? There's no like, oh, and then this fairy came along and gave me fucking $5 million.
No, this was a real struggle to get done.
He did this all by true grit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amazing job, and a great interview. And he's such a genuine guy, and really cool.
Speaking of genuine, let's just go into you and the Feed America food drive you have going on the gym.
Oh, yeah. We have a link in our show notes. We're doing a food drive, a actual physical food drive here in the studio that you see behind us.
Yeah.
And we've actually had some people using it, sadly enough, because we have people that have lost jobs and lost their health insurance, and that was the whole reason we started the food drive and over-the-counter medicine drive.
It's also just great that you've created a community of where people can be like, hey, can I?
Listen, we had tons of students bringing stuff in for the food drive. And the thing is, even if we don't use it all here, we're going to donate it to a local food kitchen. So it's going to good use. But if you're not here in New York City and you can't donate physical items to the drive, we did set up a Feed America drive, which you can contribute to. And we will have the link for that in the show notes.
Yeah. And speaking of contributions, on a non-charity level, there is our Patreon members.
Oh my God, you guys!
Holy moly! In the last I was going to say this month, but let's just say the last 2 weeks
since the first.
And we're what's 17th, 18th?
I feel like we've had 12 new members. 5 of you are financially supporting members. Yep. And we appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And
amazing.
But I feel like every day I was like texting you, and also Matt and Rich, our producers,
to the point of where he's like, hey, we have a new Patreon. I'm like, you told me yesterday, bro. And he's like, no,
it's another one.
It's another one.
So I don't know what it is, honestly, but you people rock. Maybe we're hitting critical mass. Maybe we've been around long enough. You guys actually
sounds like we're on a spaceship and it's about to fucking blow up.
Yeah. You guys finally, you like us. You really, really like us. But hey, listen, we want to give a shout out to Jason, Ashley, Ivan, Alina, who, by the way, I've worked with before. She's an NYU film grad and she's awesome. And Krishna, thank you, the 5 of you, for donating. And Krishna, by the way, all of you were at the $5 level, which is great. You guys are amazing.
Oh, was Krishna the one who chose like her own level?
She
That's really cool. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, she upped it to his $7.50 a month level on her own.
We appreciate that little extra. You're awesome.
Dude, that's so amazing. You guys are great. And keep an eye in the mail because we've already sent out your perks. Well, by the time this episode drops, you've probably already got them, but we did send out your perks yesterday. Your custom pin. And I threw a couple of other little cool prizes in there for you.
Very nice.
Yep. So you'll be getting a little more than just the pin.
Ah, very cool.
And of course, you'll be available eligible for all the other stuff.
And the raffle that we have. So we're going to have a raffle coming up.
Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do a giveaway in the season finale.
Because of you guys, because we have so many new contributing Patreon members. I was like, dude, we need to do a giveaway. We need to do a raffle giveaway.
We're not going to reveal exactly what it is just yet.
Not yet.
But it is going to be on the season finale. So if you are listening to this and you're a free Patreon member, consider upgrading.
And maybe you'll get something cool. We really do try and make it worth your while.
In 2 weeks, we're going to do this raffle on the season finale episode when we record in 2 weeks.
I mean, so even at the $5 level, if I'm not mistaken, our paid Patreon members all get an enamel pin.
Every
single one. It doesn't matter what level you get an enamel pin.
20, not the $2 level.
I'll tell you what. You go and you try and find a pin anywhere online for $5. You're never going to find it.
It's actually more than $5 when you count the postage.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Seriously,
so and then all throughout the season, we love giving stuff away. I'm a huge super nerd. I love cons. I love all of the things. I love to give my extra shit that I have away that I'm not going to be able to put on my wall.
Hey, listen,
to you guys.
We have our Patreon member Scott came by. Remember, he was in New York. He came by the studio here, and he not only did he get his pin in person, but he also got the custom Mission Impossible poster.
Oh, that's right.
He got some good stuff just for coming by. We have tons of stuff to give away, man.
And we love doing it.
Yeah. So, and plus if you're a Patreon member, you get the early access to the episodes.
Oh, and our little martini shot.
Yep.
Our little shit talk session.
Yeah. No, well, the $10 folks get the martini shot. The $5 folks get the cutting room floor segment, which is actually pretty awesome too.
And talking about our supporters, sponsors, we love our sponsors. Stunt Contact.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everything that you do for us, for the entire production community with all of the content and everything that you put out with your website.
Dude, just this week.
And in your weekly newsletter.
Just this week. I got the daily email from Stunt Contact.
Mm-hmm.
And 7 of the productions were in New York. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent out a lot of emails this week.
You were, since it's out there and it's just a thing, I'm just going to go into it. How crazy is it that Seth Rogen is just such a normal all around guy that his email is attached to his things? I'm not giving it out, but
I can't believe
it's such a common thing now that I feel comfortable kind of just being
for those listening and not watching, Paul just nearly knocked over our table.
I did. I'm a knucklehead.
It's nearly spilled my beer, man. That's the more important thing.
I thought I was moving the microphone, and I grabbed the table and shifted the table like I was moving the microphone.
Oh my God. Is that what you were grabbing?
This is what I thought I was doing, and this is what I did.
Yeah. But listen, I gotta believe that is not Seth Rogen's real email. Although it's certainly, I don't know. And Evan Goldberg too. Both of them. Just like normal emails.
I was so surprised. And I was like, since it just kind of went out like that, I can throw it out there without giving the email. But that was pretty wow.
If it is you guys, you both rock.
Yeah.
You're that down to earth, man.
Yeah. Fucking A.
I mean, you come across that way, but it's really cool to see that maybe that really is true.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, before we jump in, and just to wrap up Stunt Contact, if you're not a subscriber to Stunt Contact yet, one, I don't know what you're waiting for, but two, we have a discount code.
That's right.
Yes.
Film Fights with Friends Pod. FFWFPOD.
All capitals, FFWFPOD. And you will get 25% off the daily subscription and 15% off the weekly subscription.
Nice.
Not like that little 5% bullshit.
I'll be honest with you. I hate it when you sign up for something and they're like, we sent you a 10% discount code. I'm like, why don't you just tell me to go fuck myself?
Well, yeah, especially if it's like a product where they give you a discount that you have to pay that much in shipping and delivery.
I'm like, you're just basically making it so I don't have to pay my state tax. I'm like, you're not giving me anything.
Dude, this is 25% off. That is like 1/4 of the price.
Yeah.
Gone. Like, you got to do it. If you're renewing, if you're already on there and you got to renew, use the code.
Mm-hmm.
take advantage. Let them know that you're learning about them from this show too. It really does help us if you use the discount code.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was going to say, Paul, is we've got more reviews to read.
Reviews. I love our reviews.
We got 2, and they're awesome. This one was on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
5 stars. So cool is the title. This show is a lot of fun and is incredibly interesting. I love the behind-the-scenes look at the movie magic from hosts that know the game inside and out.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, and that was by Jesse Hartnett. By the way, and Jesse, just a little plug, she has her own podcast, which is really actually pretty cool. That's how she heard about this podcast.
Yep.
She has a How to Quit Smoking, or How I Quit Smoking. So basically, the podcast is basically just different people telling stories about how they quit smoking, and it sounds like it would be kind of boring, but the diversity of people that she gets on the show, it's really just an interview show.
Right. Like ours.
Yeah. And you get to really learn about, everybody has a story, dude. And
people hate my story about how I quit smoking because I used to smoke.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Good. Yeah.
And I just quit.
Yeah.
And I smoked. I just smoked because I liked it.
Yeah.
And then when I started to not like the way I smelled afterwards or whatever,
that's it.
That kind of overtook how much I like to smoke. And I was like, no, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the show, so
I will attest the drunk cigarette.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was the worst. That was the worst one to fucking stop. And that was the one when in the morning when I smelled like smoke, I hated myself.
It took me a few tries to quit, but it'll be in February. It'll be 16 years.
But for the stop, I was like, okay, this is easy. Yeah. But when I started drinking, that was a hard cigarette to stop.
For me, it's like the relaxing moments, like sitting on a beach, having a little cocktail and a cigarette, or when I was in Spain,
cocktail and a joint.
Yeah, when I was in Spain, like having some coffee in the Plaza Mayor with a cigarette. Just,
there's
that romanticism about it.
I almost think that it's like that, man. It's just that deep, when they're like breathing exercises. Yeah. It's just a breathing exercise of something really cool to go in your lungs.
The thing about cigarettes is it's the one drug that you actually have to teach yourself to like. Like, I don't know a single person that.
Sorry, but when I was a kid and I tried beer for the first time, it tasted like shit.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like beer. Beer was weird.
Most kids just dig the alcohol.
No, because the flavor of it was odd. It's like, cause you think you look at it and you think you're going to get something like soda.
Oh, this is ginger ale. No.
Right. And then it's fucking a super double fucking hopped.
I would wager money that more people dislike their first cigarette than their first drink.
Well, my first cigarette fucks with my head. The first time I drank, I didn't feel anything. I just tasted it. And then it's later, right? But then at that point, you're kind of not drinking anymore. You're just kind of fucked up. But with cigarettes,
you have to train yourself how to inhale shit into your lungs.
Right. And that gives me that instant head fuck.
Nobody had a first cigarette that didn't feel like they were going to cough up a lung afterwards. You know what I mean? It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we also got another review, and this one is really meaningful. I mean, they're all meaningful. They're all awesome. We love you guys when you give us reviews. So I'll read this one to you. Hilarious and insightful. Do you remember the Odd Couple theme?
Of course I do.
Can you just quietly hum it in the background while I read this?
Oh man.
Anyway, this is Stephen and Paul are like the odd couple. Funny guys to listen to, but yet bring forth a wealth of knowledge on filmmaking and specifically the stunt side of the industry, chock full of inspiration with a plethora of creative and curious questions thrown at their guests in a kind of New York jousting sort of way.
Oh.
Yeah. Definitely stop poking me, motherfucker. Definitely a couple of film nerds, which keeps the laughs coming, but all in all, genuinely concerned about safety, authenticity, and good old storytelling. Definitely a fun listen on your drives to and from work. Check it out.
And
this was
love that.
This was from Lauro.
Oh, Lauro. Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I love Lauro for two reasons. One,
and Charlene. We love you
and
too, Charlene.
Oh, my God. You guys have made me so excited every single time it rains or snows to walk outside because of that fucking awesome umbrella you guys gave us.
Yes. So for those listening that are not aware, Lauro is the stunt coordinator, second unit director,
and stunt coordinator,
at for Shogun, which they're currently doing season 2 right now. And he was on our show a few episodes back, so definitely go check it out. But what I really love is that he became a fan of the show.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually commented on Spotify on an episode in Spotify in the comments. He commented too.
I love that he listens.
Well, he actually commented on he agreed with you on
our the remake episode.
On our remake roundtable episode
about Man on Fire.
Man on Fire.
Yeah,
one of his favorite movies.
Yeah, and just a great fucking remake.
But I just love the fact that he was a guest, but he became a fan.
Mm-hmm.
So we really appreciate you, dude. Meaning, really, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, totally. You're the best.
You're
in Canada.
Oh, I wish I was in fucking Canada.
I don't feel like submitting all my social media to get reviewed in order to come back home. So
I can. I'm good with that.
Yeah, exactly. So listen, we're wrapping up the intro. We're going to get into this thing with Garrett, but please, just a reminder to follow us, like us, subscribe to us, share us,
follow us,
all that stuff. And if you want to get on our mailing list, it's fightingwithfriends@gmail.com. And, damn, I think that's about it.
That's right. Here we go.
Garrett, thank you so much for coming on the show. This is super cool.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Man,
it's awesome.
We love having people on the show, but we even love more having people on the show that have passed through our doors here, like you have.
Yes. When y'all asked me to join, I was like, oh, it's so exciting because I feel like I had just started to get my foot in the door there. And then I booked this job in LA and I had to move.
Yep.
And literally all the time, I'm like, man, I was feeling so good there. I was like learning all this stuff.
But then you hooked up with our buddy Hugh Fitzgerald out there. And and that, by the way, for the listeners, that job was a role on the show Elkhorn, which you can now see on Amazon Prime.
And you also worked with another one of our friends on Elkhorn, Eric's son.
Eric's son stunt coordinated the show. And Eric, when he was living in New York, was a regular over here too. So
yeah. Literally, I mentioned that I had gone like through y'all's doors, and Eric was like, "Really? I know Steven. I know them." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And you really start. It was the first time I witnessed how small the community is.
So you guys also know that when I talk about the in prior seasons, you've heard me talk about the fall I took off the roof, the job I never should have taken, the high fall.
Oh yeah.
Eric worked on that job with me.
That was one of our
first jobs. Yeah.
That was on a like a shitty Bollywood movie.
Yeah. and Eric and I were on the roof almost getting sunstroke together.
Incredible. But I was getting sunstroke out in the desert.
And it is true though about how small a world it is. Like, because so for the listeners, I met you, Garrett, on that one take movie that we worked on together that still will probably never see the light of day, I guess. But oh, look, I forgot to turn on the timer. Let me do that. People can hear our troubleshooting here. But anyway,
Steve does everything on a clock.
I do. I have to.
Everything.
I mean, when he would set those rounds, he had to go around each person in the class. I was like, all right, we only got 2 more. We might get into the rest spot.
But yeah, so we met on that one take, and you were the B camera operator. And which honestly, but it was like, honestly, that was a great experience, despite how like kind of it shit the bed at the very end in post-production and stuff. But it was a really fun time. It was a really challenging experience.
It was awesome. Literally. So Kayla Windsor, who was like DPing that.
Yeah.
She was a DP on my movie, and she had been a first AC on a different movie that I worked on.
Right.
And she asked, hey, do you want to do B-cam on this? And I said, sure. And then as we were going through rehearsal, they're like, so we're going to hand the camera to you in the van. and then you're going to kind of squat in there. And I was like, I'm like 12 minutes of this.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy, but it was so much fun.
So real quick, for those who don't know, because I think it's the first time we've used it, what's First AC?
First AC is first assistant camera. So she was like pulling focus and things like that.
Nice.
And Kayla's been blowing up too out there in Arizona, man. But for the listeners, so this film that we worked on was a 45-minute one take film that involved transfers between vehicles and a pretty extensive fight scene at the end,
which was sick.
The fight scene was sick, and the performers really Izzy and oh my God, I'm embarrassed. That's why I write this shit down. Paulina, I was right. But Izzy and Paulina like put in literally like 6 months of learning this fight here.
Wow.
They busted their ass. They were plug and play on the day for sure.
Yeah. When I heard the process you all went through, where you're like, yeah, we brought them in and they got to do all this training for this moment. I was like, that's the dream.
Yeah.
Literally, you get so long to prep. Like as someone who had not really been in the industry coming in kind of fresh then, it was like, that's so cool. That you get to build those skills in that.
It was really awesome. And what's cool
and getting, I don't know if I'm just saying the true is getting paid for it.
Yeah. That was good.
Exactly.
Getting paid to do that is just like, you know, like when everyone's like Chris Pratt, blah, 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 when he became star, he got paid fucking $20 million. I would look like that too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I learned,
I'm going to take that extra time.
I learned a ton on that project. And, it's so interesting, Paul, like doing a fight scene like that, whereas, you know, on a one take where the whole thing's a one take, one mistake and the whole film is messed up. And so it's almost like like training someone for a fight. Like once they go into the cage, they're on their own. There's no cut. Let's do that again. You know, it's like, so I remember like I had to wait all the way up the block, you know, while they did the fight scene and just trust that they would get it right. And Colin was the camera op there, and he was honestly the third person in the fight. He's a big reason why the fight came out looking so great.
You know, it's
watching all of his movements when they were doing the rehearsal.
Yeah.
And just watching the fight progress, but then how he was helping sell whatever it was in the moment, and it would kind of shift each time because it's live. Like incredible.
It was great. Like, Colin Walsh, we're talking about it. Great job. And it was like a 5-person fight. It was like Paulina and Izzy, and then the others get involved, and it was it was really, really challenging, and everybody did a killer job. You know, learned a ton. But to the point, that's where we met you and Kayla.
Yep.
And brings it back to this movie.
But
yes.
Also, when it comes to shooting a one shot, one of the things that I noticed is that, and it kind of helped me, as weird as it is. Like this is so weird, hard to say. So you ever watch yourself spar, and you were already in the moment, and something happened to you, and in your head it happened, you know, very, very quickly. But when you play it back in your head, you're like, I saw this in slow motion. And then if you ever like kind of something happened in film, you forgot your line, you flubbed it, you started a little bit, but you played through it, and your brain was so calm, you knew exactly where to go, and you just went through it. You know, you went through it, you didn't cut, you didn't stop. You went through it, and you go back to watch it, and you're waiting for this huge, giant fuck up in your head that was a giant pause in your brain. And then you watch it, and it was smooth like butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's so weird how that's how your brain is working. And then it goes to show what the camera sees and what you think you're doing and what your brain thinks you're doing and what you actually see on camera. And to always just go through it. Just go through it. Just finish it. Don't ever stop.
Literally, when I do self tapes, if I have a flub or I hang up on a word, I'm like, just restart. And then when I go to watch the tapes, I come across a take where I'm like, this is the best. This is it for sure.
And it's the one that you thought you fucked up, right?
We got to restart. I'm like, no. So now I've learned, hey, like you're saying, just,
Yeah.
you know, even though it feels like we have control, those moments, it's actually like the art, the humanity of the fight, the scene, whatever it is happening, and then letting it happen and releasing that control, which is scary.
Yeah.
There was a great, I forgot who it was, but he after he got this great role and it was amazing, and he put up the self-tape of him in the audition, and he's like, I screwed up here. He goes, when I hit myself in the face with the script, he goes, I forgot my line, but then in the moment I decided to keep going, and it worked so well that and just, he's like, and I think that's why, and they're like, yeah, that's why you got it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I fucked up there. And he's like, I just decided to play it through.
So here's a segue for you. What do you think? Here you go, Garrett. This is a segue.
Great.
No, we just talked about this great experience making a movie that has never come out, but your movie came out, and that is an amazing So A Sky's Forest, you've been working on this film for years, and it is out.
Mm-hmm. You made a fucking movie, dude.
And that is just completing a film and actually getting distribution.
It gives me goosebumps.
Yes, is a massive applause, right?
Yeah.
Massive applause. That's a huge thing.
And you did it on your own.
Yes.
You basically, you did like what indie record guys do when they're selling their records out of their trunk.
Yeah.
So
like the post-production process and distribution was all basically just nose of the grindstone going. And
yeah, I mean, we really want to dig into that whole process, because I think your experience is really could be very inspirational for other indie filmmakers out there. So tell us, how did it start? I kind of know basically from your telling me, but give us the bullet points. Like, where did this movie come from?
So, we filmed in 2021, in September, and COVID was starting to move out of like the worst part of it.
Right.
But, like things were happening, but I had just I went to acting grad school from engineering, graduated in 2020, March of 2020.
Oh, wait, so you graduated with an engineering degree first?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, just as an aside, one of the co-hosts of one of my other favorite podcasts, Just Shoot It, is also now a film director, but actually went to school for engineering.
It's pretty close when you start getting into it. Like, you solve so many problems on set. It's like, that's my engineering side. But so with COVID, there was such a feeling of, I'm not going to be brought in for stuff. So I started wanting to make my own project, and also, not to get too deep politically here or whatever, but I felt the way that the world approached COVID felt very polarizing. Like it felt like it was hard to come together as a group.
Yeah.
But then like 3 months later, something that we were arguing about would become like not something we were arguing about anymore. I don't know. It was weird. And
everything was in flux back then, but definitely the polarization was a real thing. It still is in this country, but I get it as, without getting political, but that's the environment that you were working in.
Well, there was it was basically like, look, you got to get vax to work. You got to get vax to do anything. And then all of a sudden it was like, you can just come back.
It was just kind of this weird ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting if you used a movie where, and also coming from like engineering, artistic side, the way they view each other can be weird at times, where like, it's like they're trying to say their job is harder, or
it's really funny.
Whatever.
There are parts of your movie now that are actually starting to click in my fucking head.
Yeah, because I went with conspiracy theorists, scientists, and they both kind of had the truth.
That kind of makes sense now that you're telling this. It's like because you had.
That's why you had this double I don't get it in your, because holy fuck.
Now it's all clicking.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man.
You had the
I was
conspiracy.
like, dude, that's awesome.
You had the conspiracy theory guy, and then you had the astronomer. The science.
And she thought she was going to change the world,
right?
And he thought Bigfoot was real, and she would never change the world. And in reality, like, they came together, and both things were true. And if they were just willing to maybe like work through these things together, they would have gotten to this solution quicker without all this carnage.
That's very deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe too deep.
No. I love it. I freaking love it. Like,
yeah.
I wish I had this interview before I wrote the review. I'm gonna have to go amend my review.
No, your review is great. I actually loved your review. I read the review to my family. They're like, "That was a great review." I was like, "I agree."
Check is in the mail, right?
But literally, like that kind of started it. And then my parents had recently bought this property in Georgia. So the house that we filmed at mostly,
I was wondering if where that was.
Yeah. And
wasn't the Pacific Northwest.
No. Yeah, no, it was Blue Ridge.
Oh, cool.
And I got there and like still COVID was making everything feel very like desolate.
Mm-hmm.
And in those types of neighborhoods in the woods, if there are leaves, you cannot see other houses. The moment winter comes, there's a house 20 feet away.
Right.
But it felt so isolating in the culture of isolation. I was like, I need to make a Bigfoot movie here.
That's awesome.
That's the next step, obviously, with my very limited income. I'm going to make a big budget.
Well, it all starts with an idea, right? So
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where it all kind of started. And that was in like March of 2021.
So that's basically like a year. Yeah, that's a year to right, because COVID really started in March of 2020.
2020. Yeah. Yeah. And then started writing the script. And when we started having to figure out how to do the practical effects, because that was a big thing. I didn't know VFX people. So a big thing was like going back to these movies that inspired me,
right,
from 70s, 80s, 90s.
Sure.
Where they did a lot of practical things.
Dude, the practical effects on this were great. I mean, I know you sent us some B-roll. We'll drop in like with the wire gag and the arm ripping off and all that stuff. That stuff was pretty dope.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah. No, it and I think when you're making it too, there's a level of, you see these very practical things and you can hear everything on set, and there's a level of like, is this going to work?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start putting in and putting it together, and it really starts to get there.
And dropping in the sound design was pretty awesome too. The Sasquatch footsteps were pretty sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing how much the sound can change the tension, right, of a scene.
Well, I mean, it's like, so the place where I started to see that was when I would edit like little fight scenes that I did a long time ago. And without some of those hits and stuff, it's like subconsciously your eyes can focus so much clearly on the like actual
on the
fight.
action.
Yeah. But when the hits start happening, it's like you get inundated with stimuli, and suddenly it changes everything. So for me, I really wanted the sound design to immerse a viewer as much as it could. There's like 4,000 audio clips in that thing.
Wow. Did you do any Jurassic Park shit in post where it's actually like a fucking high heel shoe?
Well, no, but I went to a lot of like Foley libraries that I had a subscription to, and I'm sure they did their version of
right.
But they just said to me like, "Oh, it's this." Like some of those roars, I know for a fact it's someone just like, right, and like, and you got to put whatever. But like the guy who voices the Sasquatch, both the mental and the real world.
Right. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah. Well, he
it doesn't. I'm like, should we say anything or just leave that open?
We'll try to keep.
We'll keep
spoilers to a minimum. Yeah.
But it communicates.
I didn't know.
It communicates.
It communicates. But what I do love, and I think this is not a spoiler, but I do love that you embraced like the mythology behind
the lore,
the Sasquatch being able to have telepathic,
but not like the fucking Kentucky inbred lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the real Yeti lore.
Well, listen, when I was out of grad school, when I was working in Nepal and I was up in the Himalayas, I was this one Sherpa guy, and I have it all on record. I have it all recorded on tape. He told the whole story of the Yeti, the whole history of the Yeti. But one of the key points was that they did have telepathy, like they could communicate with you, telepathically.
I mean, if you hear some of that's the other thing is I think a lot of Sasquatch movies are pretty campy. And I didn't want to approach that because, I mean, I'm a Bigfoot enthusiast. Like, I'll say it. Like, it's not that I necessarily, like, know exactly what I believe, but...
You don't have a collection of plaster casts?
But you have the re-release of Harry and the Hendersons on 4K.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, like, literally, it's taking over my life. Like, I have so many little believe Bigfoot things around my house. But... if you listen to the podcasts where people share their stories, there are some where you're like, I don't know about this, but there are others. I don't know what they saw.
Yeah.
But people are really afraid.
But they believe it.
They saw.
They believe what they experienced for sure.
That's what I wanted to like tap into with this was that also going back to the initial inspiration for the story, I wanted it to feel like it was real for those characters and not that we were watching them from like a camp point of view. So, it all kind of came together. And it was, we built the suit over a month from scratch. And
who was inside the suit?
A couple people.
A couple different. You sent us a picture. Was that you? And was that your head popping out of the suit, or no?
That was our main Bigfoot actor. And that's Frank.
Yeah.
And I know him from Florida, and he's about my size.
Frank Kramer?
So, yeah, Frank Kramer.
Yeah.
And we basically like made a Lycra suit molded to me with the muscles and the fur. And him and I were similar body types, and similar height, everything. So it fit. But then I would go in the suit when he wasn't there.
Copy that.
So, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, man.
Moving in a creature suit, like you think about all these, like wearing a costume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when you wear a costume, it changes your move and stuff. I'll tell you what, you put on a suit where you become this jacked creature that's 8 feet tall. It changes your mindset about how you walk, how you move, and it's wild how that can just.
It's pretty amazing.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's like you got to play make believe, right?
So was Kayla? How did you meet Kayla, and how did she get involved in this project with you?
So in October of 2020, I went and did a movie in like near San Francisco. I can't remember the town, but it's basically in the woods. And as I said, she was first AC on that, and I appreciated her work ethic, and I appreciated the way she approached her craft, and she was super nice and chill. And as I was approaching this, I was like, who do I know that is good with cameras and wants to pursue, camera operating and director photography? So I called her up and I said, hey, is this something you're interested in? I'm making this super low budget indie movie. And I think she was actually in Tampa for another reason. That's where I was at the time. And we had lunch and she was like, I'm in, let's do it. So she got all of her equipment together in Arizona and brought a ton of equipment at to help our production value. And I think it was her lenses. We had a camera body from someone else. She brought a bunch of lights. Like, it was just incredible what she did.
It looks great. Mm-hmm. Like, it looks like the footage is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Sometimes when someone's like, oh, I made a movie, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And you go and you watch it, and you're basically watching 2.5 hours of fucking found footage.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's what you, in your brain, I don't think you mean it, but you're kind of expecting. So This was so shot so well and so crisp and so not found footage. Yes. It helps really just let you turn the brain off and immerse yourself in it. So yeah, I want to say congrats to that and kudos to that, because it was shot beautifully.
Well, thank you so much. And I know she worked so hard, and our first AC was also doubling as our first AD, and that was Julie Schultz. And she, like, we were on set, and we're like, hey, can you pull focus? And she said, yeah, I'll do it. And literally, like, all of it, basically, crisp, like, just incredible. And
for those listening that don't know what pull focus means, that means like the person handling the focus of the lens of the camera is not the person holding the camera. Like, so somebody who's not in the industry, you've got the camera operator focusing on handling the camera, but you've got the person controlling the focus. It's a second person on a different piece of apparatus where they're controlling it. So it's almost like you've got two people working in tandem to get the shot. Just so people, and it's such a hard skill. It's so hard that you have to really know what's coming in the scene and be ready for it. It's just incredibly difficult.
A lot of times, if you've ever been on set, there's someone that's just kind of sitting there staring at a screen, and they've got these little dials
4 inches from the screen,
and they're just sitting there. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're focusing.
Yeah,
because I've talked to people about that, just not in the industry, and then a lot of people are surprised. They just, like most people, assume the camera operator is also focusing.
He has a lot of help, and the trust that goes with all the different people that work in a camera department is so key to that camera person being able to get those shots. When you're on set, one of the hardest jobs, I think, is that guy who's behind the camera operator, who's tapping his shoulder and making sure he doesn't trip and making sure things are out of the way, and basically giving him those signals on when to move before it happens for what the shot's going through. That is the most intense job on set for me. Like, when I watch that, I'm like, dude, that guy's fucking, the key to the kingdom is in his hands right now.
I mean, with our set, we encountered really weird weather for the time, very cold, and a lot of rain. And that Georgia clay, so difficult to work in. And when Kayla would have to move, someone would be doing that job, and like, you're on uneven terrain and you're moving. And, we got very lucky that there was no issues with an injury or something like that in terms of, because we were navigating a lot as a very small group. And it's because everyone was on point with their jobs.
At night, it's dark, it's
literally, like I was saying, the leaves make it so you can't see a house.
Right.
So at one point, it was earlier on, we had the actors out at night in the woods, and they hadn't been to that location. And they were like, this is in the middle of the woods. We're gonna, like, this is not okay. And I was like, no, we're in a neighborhood. It's okay. Like, literally there's a house right there. We brought them to the same location a couple days later, and they were like, this is not where we shot. And I said, yes, it is. And you can see the house.
It's right
where, it feels so isolating, which I think helped with the environment of the movie itself too. But it's just wild, that area.
No, you never get the sense. You definitely get the feeling in the movie It's like I tell people when people ask me about the movie, I'm like, this is a great like bunch of folks in the woods being chased by a monster.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you definitely get the feeling that they're out in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's great. It's really great.
Yeah. And a lot of the drone shots too, Kayla got, I think like maybe one or two was the stock, but most of them, especially where it's coming over a ridge or something, all Kayla. And you had to paint out a house or there, but it's just trees forever, you know, like it's dense trees where it really does just feel like you said, you are not near civilization at all.
You know, that reminds me of this one time I had a bit of a senior moment, I thought, on the train, and I was coming into the city, and I live out in Westchester, and it was a very windy and rainy day, but I got on the train before it all started. It was kind of like a hurricane type of deal getting started. So all of the leaves were still on the trees. So when I looked out before I got on the train, like at the parking lot, it was all the leaves on all the trees. 8 hours later, when I'm coming back in, the wind and the rain blew all the leaves off the trees, and I got off what was the same station. But when I got off, I looked around and I was like, where the fuck am I? And totally. I thought I was at the wrong train station for a good 2 minutes because it just looked so different without those leaves being on the trees. So it was crazy.
So you write the script, you assemble your crew and cast, and how many shoot days? Like how long did this take before, or to finish at least principal photography?
We shot for 13 days for principal photography. And that was, I mean, I think it was really 3 days of day shooting and then like 7 or something days of nights.
Right.
And then another 3 of day. Cause once you're in that night rotation, it's so hard to like bounce back and forth. So, we filmed over 13 days and then maybe like 1 or 2 days for additional shooting later. If we were getting like Bigfoot footage or something like that. It was a pretty like intense, even with 13 days, a lot of trying to fit people in. And again, Julie on the first AD part, which is first assistant director, she was assigning schedule and making sure we fit everyone in before they had to go somewhere else. It just
was she good at cracking the whip? You needed the first AD's got to crack that whip, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing about Julie is that she's as invested into the story as she's a director. She was directing actually the movie that I met Kayla on.
Oh, cool.
So I think she can see, you know, as that director side of like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. And can also get sucked into it. Kayla almost was more so at times coming up to me like, "You got to move on. Like this is not going to happen, or we've got it." You know. So
well, it's kind of like if I was just thinking, I was like, that's why there's always actor directors, not actor first ADs.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because you get invested, but otherwise it's like, it was crazy.
I mean, you're definitely a multi-hat wearing guy, though, Garrett. I mean, writer, director, actor, B-cam operator. You know, you're editor. You edited this film.
Yeah, I edited. I did the color for it.
Oh wow!
I was going to say the color was.
Oh, thank you.
It was great, especially in the dark. I'm a big judgy of like, can I see what's going on in the dark? And yeah, it was very well. And the color correction was great.
It was great. There was just enough saturation, but not too much, you know?
Yeah. Especially in the night. And I think, you know,
and the dragging scenes, with the moonlight. Yeah. Very well done. Very crisp, very sharp.
Thank you. I really wanted it, you know, I wanted it to lean into the, like this contrasty almost film feel. Because if you can see, it's like that really fine line where if you can see into the shadows, all anxiety kind of disappears.
Right.
But if you can make those shadows super dark, but still see the lit parts, which was basically just one massive light.
Right.
Because Kayla had very little help with lighting except for like actors moving stuff. So it was just one big light. Boom. And we had to navigate around that. And then, so I did the color, sound, any VFX you see, I did that.
Yeah.
And then, while we were shooting, I was running a Kickstarter while directing and act. Like, it's been a crazy 4 years.
I mean, did you have to, were you learning on the go regarding VFX and all that stuff? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like hyperfixations, you know?
Yeah.
And I think about 2 years in, it could have definitely been this is what it is and I'm done. But we all came together to make this with the mindset of it would help us in some way, not even financially, just in the industry.
Sure.
And I had taken so long. There was a part of me that was like, I gave people their real footage, but I felt obligated to try to make the post-production process rise to what Kayla, the actors, Julie, our sound guy, August. There was a cicada bloom that was like huge. And all those night scenes just have that cricket sound of cicadas.
Right.
And he was able to get close enough to us where I could remove that sound and just keep the audio as best as I could.
That's awesome.
And I just wanted to make the post-production process raise to that. So that's what the 4 years was. And just learning for months, how do I make this work? And
so for those non-film people out there that are eyes may be crossing right now, because we're talking about dark scenes and lighting at the same time. Why don't we go through the process of how you light a scene that is shot in the dark for what the audience sees?
Or how you guys did.
How do you guys light that? You know what I mean? How did you light the scene where it's dark in the woods, we're watching hands clawing at the ground, and how do you make it look like the moonlight, but also make it look like it's dark in the background? Because that's not natural. That's almost fucking impossible to capture on a camera. So, for those of people who are wondering, when we were talking about lighting, you light a scene in the dark.
Yeah.
Right. And what's that process?
So basically we would usually have a high ground where and I can't remember what the light itself was. It was massive. And that light would go up there, typically like 20 to 30 yards away. And that would give some umbrella like effect, but also give it a softness. And that was the main light. And then we had smaller lights that were accents. And depending on whose close up it was, we would move that little light around. So the primary lighting on people's face could be the moonlight if they were not blocked by a tree or something. But a lot of times to get rid of tree shadow, we would have that. And the other thing is when you film, the camera films in a very non-contrast format. So a lot of the contrast you're seeing, like even my movie, if you watch that movie on a screen and put it on vibrant versus like movie dark, especially in a dark room, you will see more into the shadows.
Yes.
And you'll see branches and stuff. So at a certain point, some of the look you're getting is also, how do I affect the shadows when I'm changing the color of the scene on my computer?
Right. The difference between like a dim and a brightness and the contrast and the sharpness.
And how much of that
like a dim would take care of all of that. All of them. 1, 2, 3, all of them would just go.
I mean, and that brings up an interesting question. Like when you're doing color correction and all that kind of stuff, with the knowledge that, let's say this isn't for a theater, this is for a screen, like a computer or a television or a phone or some other kind of screen, that each one of those like you said, could have different settings, different quality, different, it could be 1080, it could be less than 1080, it could be 4K, it could be all this kind of stuff. And each one of those changes affects how the viewer sees it. So when you're in post-production, who are you editing for? The standard 1080 crowd, the higher definition crowd. Like, it just seems, and I could be totally wrong because I've never done this, but it seems to me like I would cut for the lower standardization.
See, for me, I can watch everything in 4K with my glasses on, and then I just take them off and it's standard.
Because I hate 4K. Because Paul came over to my house, and remember you said, like, why does that look so good on your screen? I was like, because I don't put it on 4K. I fucking hate 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too crisp. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it when, and I'm just gonna bring it up because it's something that drives me nuts. When you see people with that have a darker complexion on screen, right? Mm-hmm. And they do the lighting underneath on the cheeks. When your 4K is so good that I can see that makeup, you're taking me so far out of I don't like it when TVs are that good.
Well, yeah, and sometimes on the 4K it'll look like they have lipstick on and all this kind of stuff, So I like my TV, which is just below HD.
I find the best 4K stuff is the old stuff that's redone properly, and the colors are just super bright.
And it's because a lot of the old stuff is shot on film. So one thing that film does is they would overexpose because they didn't know what it looked like. Mm-hmm. So with digital, when you can see, especially in night scenes, a lot of times with that monitor, you're like, we can lower the exposure on this. And that's another thing we did is we went the complete opposite way. We're like, let's make sure we get all the detail we can for these night scenes. Mm-hmm. And that allows us to retain that detail and take what we want out versus it's just shadow.
So it's kind of crazy. So when you shoot a dark scene, it almost sounds like you're lighting that scene to create a controllable shadow within what you're shooting.
For sure. That's what Kayla approached it as, because we didn't have the time to finesse anything different. Mm-hmm. Like there was one time I wanted to have a backlit, and Kayla was listening to me. She was like, it sounds awesome. We don't have the manpower.
Great idea for another movie.
Exactly. So we moved through with that mindset.
When my department has a budget.
Exactly. And that takes me back to what do you edit for? When I was first doing color, I had read, you should be in a really dark room. You should XYZ.
Right.
And I color corrected it. And then I watched it. And I couldn't see anything. I was like, how did this even register in my brain that this was okay? So I actually did kind of not an okay thing. If like a color person who's listening to this will be like, oh my God. But I kind of color corrected in a setting like this that's not really bright, but it was dim. And it allowed me to kind of dial into what would probably typically be seen as.
Right.
But it would still look good at night.
Right.
Like it didn't show too much detail. The post-production process, those people, they are in the Wild West because each TV has different settings and different ways that it presents what you very controllably make. Speakers, same thing.
I was about to say it's the same with audio, and audio is even less standardized than video. Like you probably know this from this movie with deliverables, right? The standards for deliverables for video are very high, but the audio not so high. And
the other thing is like there's this time of why do the commercials sound so loud compared to the movie, or why
this streamer compared to that streamer, and this channel compared to that channel. Yeah.
Why is my wife always coming in the room telling me to turn down the TV when the commercial comes on?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's because
or the opening credits are always really fucking loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, so one thing I did with mine is I tried to have my opening credits be kind of the middle. So then you would adjust it that, and hopefully that would be a through line. But sometimes like there's like an average, it's crazy, man. There's each streamer has its own thing, like you said.
Yep.
And if you don't match it, they'll change it.
Yeah.
They'll compress your audio. So quiet moments, all of a sudden, like there was a quiet moment in my movie that I heard on YouTube when I was watching a test, and like every clothes rustle, I was like, why can I hear that? That's not in there. And it's because YouTube said this is a really quiet scene. We got to up the volume so it's more constant. And thankfully the streamers didn't really do that.
Right. I mean, this,
but like,
we'll have the same issue. Like when I remember the first time I discovered this, I was editing a previs and I was doing all the audio through my headphones and it sounded freaking amazing. And then I played it over my television with the built-in speakers, and I was like, this sounds like total dog shit. It's like, it sounded so good in here. It sounded terrible. Or on the phone. If you play it on the phone, it's even worse.
Well, that's what they say too, is
I feel like
go ahead.
Oh, I was actually just going to make a stupid comment. I'm like, I feel that way that when I watch Avatar with sound and without sound. Like when I watch it with its own sound, it's complete dog shit. But when I turn it down and put up some heavy metal music, it's great.
What's Avatar? What's Avatar? What is this Avatar that you speak of?
I don't know. It's a movie about weird giant fucking blue monkeys.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one.
Have you ever seen Fern Gully? You've seen Avatar.
But,
so you were going to say audio. Yeah.
Is you should go play it on every set of speakers you can find.
Yeah.
So they'd tell you to take it to your car and listen to it with your car and see like how that's going. And it's all over.
You guys ready for a big fucking? I'm deaf in one ear, so none of it fucking matters.
Well, not the stereo part.
No, exactly. Go fuck yourself. I went through that shit in high school. I don't fall for it anymore.
Paul's deaf in one ear.
Normally, I would repeat myself like 3 times back in the day. I'd be like, dude, I'm deaf in that ear. They'd be like, what? I'd be like, I'm deaf. God damn it, I hate you.
That's why actually we sit this way, because this is this is his deaf ear right here.
One of my first jobs I ever had in a kitchen was at Many Glacier Rising Sun Hotel, and the kitchen there was open. So there's just literally like a movie theater into the kitchen to the whole entire dining room. And the chef that I worked with, Mike Gorski, RIP, passed away. Great fucking guy. He was deaf in his right ear. Okay. I'm deaf in my left ear. And we worked on the line with our deaf sides facing each other. And they basically just got a comedy show of this guy and I screaming at each other because neither of us could hear the calls.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So in a setting like that too, I mean, it's crazy.
So you finish you spend all these years on post-production, and then what? How do you what's your process then? Cause now you have now, in case, we mentioned it in the intro, but this is available on Amazon, it's on Apple. And, so how do you go from, I finished my movie to getting it out there for people? And like, what choices did you have to make? Like, as opposed to like, why didn't you put it on YouTube, for example, or why did you go here versus there? Or, I mean, the deliverables kind of leads into this question, because you had to deliver this stuff.
Like, what's the biggest what's the biggest do to get your movie out there?
I think the biggest to do to get it out there is just,
besides finish it.
But part of that is releasing your, I had a phrase where it was like,
Inhibition?
I had to release the inspiration and accept what was there and find, like, they say that you have 3 times to make the movie: when you write it, when you film it, when you edit it. Like, it's going to be different. And when you're so close to it and you're editing it, you have what you saw in your head. I had that, and I had to release and be like, well, this is the movie, the story.
This is what I saw, but this is what I have.
Exactly. And love it. Learn to love it. Otherwise, if you're the one doing the work, you won't get to the finish line.
That reminds me of when
that's really good fucking advice, man.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it reminds me of when I was back in the day when I was working in pediatrics. We used to one of the things we would talk about is like when a child isn't matching up to the expectations of what a child would be, like the parents expect, like, you know, when you're having a kid, you imagine my kid's going to grow up to be this and that and this and that, or like whatever.
And parents use the word disappointing.
Yeah, but then your child goes into something else, you know, or, you know, there's, you know, and so then you kind of have to let that imaginary child that you had go.
Totally.
And then you have this other amazing child that is amazing. Right? But
no, my dad still went with the word disappointing.
Yeah. I think
it sounds like that's the metaphor you just gave, basically, like the film version of it, right?
For sure. Exactly. It's the same. Like when I would show people, so this movie, when I first showed rough cuts before I started going through all the posts, was an hour 45. And it had a lot of character stuff that I really loved. And I thought, oh, this is great for character. But a lot of it was in the first act, which already moves. I mean, it's I like it, but some people might be like, well, I didn't find this interesting. I want the Bigfoot.
Yeah, they want to get to the...
I cut like 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Largely from the beginning. And it's that idea of like, when I cut, I was like, oh, this doesn't change the story. It doesn't change.
Right.
It's just things I know.
Yeah. Sometimes being objective is a huge, objective and not vain, you know, within your own creativity, it is a big step. Steve and I found that when we were writing.
Yeah. I was about to say, cause sometimes you get too close to it, right? So we just finished this draft of a screenplay, and we gave it to 2 screenwriter friends of ours to read it. And both of them came back and said, you guys write really great scenes, but some of these scenes don't have anything to do with your story. Like you went down this rabbit hole of an amazing scene that really has nothing. It's not helping you tell your story. And you really got to think about losing these scenes. And we did. We went back and
all except for one. We're like, no, we're not getting rid of this.
No, we did keep one.
I mean, there's somewhere we
kept one, and it was basically the speech.
Yeah,
it was great. We couldn't get rid of it.
Generally, it was great advice, but it was really hard to cut those. In fact, we just finished our 3rd draft, and I finished reading. Thank you. I just was reading it to Paul, and I was like, you know, we had taken this scene that was like somewhere in the middle of the movie, and we made it the opener, and then we cut all the stuff out of it. And then when I went back and started rereading the final draft, when I got to the end of that scene that leads to the opening credits, for a split second, I was like pining for the stuff we cut out.
Right.
But I was like, but this really works. But this really works the way we have it right now.
And there are times where I look at some of that old stuff and I'm like, I could use it in a trailer. I could do this. I could do that. Like, and it's still there, but for the deliverable itself. So that's the first thing is find the love of what you're actually working on, and don't be so hooked on what's made you start the project in the first place.
And this doesn't have to be your one and only. There's always a next time. And sometimes when you watch movies, you know, just like we do, you'll watch a movie by a director and you'll almost kind of been like, I feel like the studio fucking got in the way and they were kind of go here. And then the next movie they come out with, you're like, okay, so they obviously made a deal that was like,
totally,
you're going to do this our way, and then we'll give you one you can do your way. And you're like, oh, nice.
And I'm sure you've learned a ton of things in the whole process of deliverables and distribution, but what was the biggest, oh my God, I had no idea this was coming moment? Like what you had to do to get this out there?
I think it was, oh man, that's so hard. Cause I think it was like overcoming fear. I don't know. Cause once you have the deliverable, right, you have to look at the companies, and there's a lot of different ways. I tried getting to festivals. That didn't work. Sometimes when you get into a festival, someone will then buy your movie, distribute.
How does not getting into a festival? What do you mean it didn't work?
Like, I just got rejected from the festivals. They didn't accept.
Right. Yeah. They
movie.
Didn't take it.
Yeah. So like you submit it and then they watch it. And about 4 months later, you get an acceptance or rejection.
Sure.
And I kind of aimed for larger festivals too. And it's not really that type of movie, but I was like, why not? And when that didn't work, you look at the companies that allow you to self-distribute, where they take 20% of whatever. I went with a company where I paid them up front, and then they don't take any of the rental.
They don't take any of the on-demand buys.
But if I were on Tubi, they take some of that. But there's obviously give and take because they're offering me a door that I don't have access to.
Sure.
But once I had that, honestly, it was knowing that when I sent it, I could no longer make changes. And I held on to that for so long. And even now, like, I haven't watched it. I've rented it, but I haven't watched it because I can't turn that part of my brain off.
Right.
And I'll be like, oh, I should change that or that. And now it's for the audience. So it's kind of like,
it's almost like why Adam Driver says he never watches movies he's in.
Yeah, a lot
because I don't watch them that way. He's like, I watch them to see what I fucked up and what I didn't do and what I could have done better. And he's like, why fucking do that to myself? At least I'm pretty sure that's why.
But a lot of people don't watch a lot of performers and filmmakers don't watch the final cut. I think I forget who it was. I just heard an interview with a director, Linkletter. I think it was Linkletter. He said he doesn't really go back and watch them at all. Like he was doing a screening recently with Ethan Hawke, and he watched the movie for the first time, he said, in like years, like 20 since it was out, and it's like
at that point you have enough distance.
And
you're like, oh, that was cool. But like in the moment, there's a level of, you keep wanting to craft it. It's like that thing in theater, actors will say on the last performance, after doing hundreds,
right,
it goes, oh, I get it. And then it's over, and it's kind of that mindset. And then also artwork, like that was probably getting the artwork to deliver to them. It was not on my radar. I thought it was gonna be super easy. And then they had a bunch of different formats and color that I have not. But once you have the actual movie, if you can release it,
sorry, go ahead.
No, that was, I think it was me, not you.
I was going to say it's kind of weird only because I've just been starting to listen to a lot of like indie rock groups and the process of staying away from record companies. And it's so weird that the film industry when it comes to a beginner director, and then the music industry when it comes to a new artist, the music industry will actually give them the money, put them in the studio, give them all the equipment, and pay for that album. And they will make that album, as opposed to where a director, it's completely the opposite. You got to get all that shit done by yourself, prove you can do it, give them that album, right? And then maybe.
Yeah.
So it's just, I find that it's kind of weird that they won't just go into the formula of being like, okay, hey, you know what? You're the new guy on the block. We'll bring you in. You do it our way. Boom. Here you go. That never happens. It's such a weird how the industries are completely opposite.
I'm curious, Garrett, because I'm on the fence about the value of festivals, or at least shifting my opinion shifted about the value. What is the value of festivals? And I'm curious as your opinion, not having gotten into the festivals, like I'm not sure if it's necessary. I mean, like I think
are festivals vanity or are festivals necessity?
For the festivals that we've had our shorts in and stuff, and that I've had my shorts in, the value from the festivals came from seeing it play in front of an audience
and watching their experience with it.
It's almost like a focus group experience. And then
totally.
And also the networking, if it's a local festival. So like you said, you overshot maybe on some festivals that, you know what I mean? I think that festivals can be very valuable if you have a realistic understanding of where your movie is in the pecking order of movies, and like, not submit to, South by
Con,
Cannes,
or whatever the fuck you call it.
Like, if you understand. And plus, those big ones, if you do get accepted, it costs you a fortune to actually market it for.
It's like when they give you the Hollywood star. It's like, yeah, that's great, but it costs you like $10,000 a year in upkeep.
And so, but my point being, like, the money that you would spend on, let's say, promoting a festival run, you could just self-distribute and put that money into marketing.
And I think that's the big thing. A lot of people that I asked about this feel very similarly. With festivals, like if you get into smaller festivals, it's that same kind of focus group feel. You get to, network with other filmmakers, but you may not have the opportunity to sell your movie at those smaller festivals. So you're spending this and you get the wreaths, but it doesn't really like actually help push that film commercially.
But you may not get a chance. You may not sell your film at the big festivals. Like these days, films are already bought and getting ready to be distributed, and they're premiering at the big festivals.
It's not a market mindset. Yeah, a lot of the mindset is that the festivals are shifting away from the indie and more towards catering to the studio. That may be an indie movie for a studio, but that's still like multi-million-dollar productions and
a $30 million low budget movie.
Exactly. So once it gets into that area, it really becomes like, okay, I'm gonna, like you said, let's take that movie to market this and see what happens. And I'm not really an entrepreneur. Like in terms of marketing, that's not where my brain is. This is like a whole nother shift for me in this process. But having to come to terms with how do I promote this movie? My cousin, who's a director, he told me when I was editing the movie, he said, a lot of filmmakers think I made the movie, that's enough. But in reality, like everything you do, your poster, the story that you write, like all that is leading towards customer consumption, unfortunately, / however you want to look at it. But there's a level of not catering to it, but being aware of it. And then saying, okay, now that I'm not doing this festival route, which is a lot of the artistic community lifting each other up.
Sure.
In that way, I guess you could use the word vanity, but it's people who can appreciate at a different level because they're involved with it. Whereas the customer, they just want to feel something, even if it's that it's bad.
It's the business part of film business.
And I was going to say, saying what you said before about the film, kind of when you were talking about the trailer, was like, I was like, you could actually go two ways. You could do two different types of trailer. You can do like the one rant of the Bigfoot, conspiracy guy and all that stuff. And then you could do another trailer with the scientist and her conspiracy, and then just do the orb stuff. And then you're hitting two completely different fucking markets. And then when they see this fucking movie that's just a giant Big Mac of fucking awesome, you're but as a single movie, you're kind of going to like boom boom both sides, and no one really knows what's coming. But they're going to be like, you kind of hit two different ways, and it'd almost be kind of cool if the trailer goes kind of like side by side.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great idea. I might take some of that.
Fuck yeah, dude, go for it.
Yeah, you could have opposing trailers. Yeah, focus on the science, focus on the conspiracy.
It's like Dueling Dragons roller coasters, where it's like back and forth, intertwines. Yeah, and you're at the same place.
So
there you go.
So now that it's out there and you're pushing it, and it's sort of, that process never ends, but it's kind of done. You're kind of done with this. You're at an end point, a soft end. What's next for you?
Right now, it's just trying to develop other projects that were in my mind, but I'm very much the type where I get really invested in novelty, and I'd start working on these while working on the movie. And I was like, I'm never going to finish my movie. So I finished that, and now I'm going back to these other ones. And one was a story from a long time ago where I made a short about it, but it's like you take a drug and what you hallucinate is someone who has their DNA is in that drug.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be like
oh, wow. That's cool.
Like a story about addiction where you have this thing that's supposed to help you, but then if it's a loved one, for example, like you keep taking it and it goes somewhere. And then there's another story from Elkhorn, a lot of the guys I work with, I love our dynamic.
Wow,
and,
hold on a second. So I went down a rabbit hole from your idea. So you could take this pill and then feel what it feels like for them to love you.
Well, the idea, I mean, yes, but the idea mostly is that you can hallucinate them.
Right.
In the space.
That's fucked.
So
your brain also is affecting.
Yeah. You could take a DNA with a deceased friend or take a pill that has some DNA of a, and then your high would have them in front of you.
Yeah. And the idea mostly was that like, Black Mirror, please don't take this.
Copyright that shit.
Right. Edit all this out.
Oh no, it's all here. It's all here. If it comes out after this, we got you.
Yeah. The idea is that DNA breaks down as it lives. So as it lingers, it decomposes. So if you keep taking this pill further and further, it affects the hallucination. And if that person starts to become abusive, but you love them and keep going back to the drug, how does that affect the people who are actually living like with the effects of this drug as it?
That's a fucking stellar idea, dude. Wow.
So that's one. And then the second one, completely other way. I remember when we first met, I talked to you about, I was trying to choreograph a fight scene for this small little thing. And I went to John Wick a lot to study their fight scene, the knife scenes and stuff. But the idea is, I don't know the script yet, but it's John Wick meets Hangover. and it's kind of like the zany energy of Hangover comedy, but with the action.
So it's like
intensity,
like Drunken Master. It's like Drunken Master, but John Wick version.
After we wrap and we're not on anymore, I will tell you my idea about a Shane Gillis comedy. If you know who Shane Gillis is, I'll tell you. I have an idea about a comedy for him.
Cool.
There you go.
But I can't say it on air. It's too fucking not PC.
That'll be for the martini show.
It'll be the martini. No, I can't, because then you get to break a bottle over my head.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. We have an ongoing thing. The first person who drops the R word in here, we get to break a bottle over that person's head.
There you go.
And for those who don't know what the R word is, you can just start Googling R words. But
it used to be appropriate back in the 90s.
But dude, it was so great having you on the show, Garrett.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, I'm really glad we can make this happen.
This was a great conversation.
What a great 50th episode.
Mm-hmm.
This is our
awesome.
50th episode. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What a
50th episode. Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Yeah,
that's a huge milestone.
Oh, and by the way, it was something that we talked about right before you came on the show. I love the title.
Oh yeah.
The title is really fucking cool.
The Sky's Forest.
You,
where did you get the title?
So I filmed like a promo for the Kickstarter, and when I was playing with this, it's kind of a spoiler, but the creature, they own the forest,
right?
But they're not from the forest; they're from the sky.
Oh, interesting.
So the idea is like, they own the sky. The sky's forest.
That's cool.
I like it.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah,
it's got layers.
Again, it's kind of a reach, but like my cousin too was like, you need Bigfoot in the name. It needs to be really. I was like, that was my scene that I wouldn't cut.
Oh, there you go. Like, no, the title's great. I think you don't put Bigfoot in the title.
When you do that, it adds the camp expectation.
Right.
It made me think of, I don't know if you've ever been to Pikes Peak, but as you go up to Pikes Peak, was it Pikes Peak or was it Colorado? But I have a picture of it, of the Bigfoot crossing sign. They have a Bigfoot crossing sign up on the road up there.
So it'd be, imagine if the first title of Harry and the Hendersons was supposed to be Bigfoot and the Hendersons. And then they were like, no, let's just give them a name.
Really work.
Yeah, totally. So, dude, this was great. Thank you so much. We were so glad we could make it happen, man. It was awesome.
Thank you all so much.
Everybody go out and rent A Sky's Forest.
For sure.
Yes, please. That would be awesome. That'd be incredible.
The Sky's Forest.
Yeah. And thank you all for everything you're doing with the knowledge you're sharing with this podcast. Like, it's just awesome. Really love listening to the episodes. And thank you.
Thanks, man.
Oh, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's awesome.
All right. Take care. Adios.
Have a good one, buddy.
Adios. Bye.
Film Fights with Friends is produced by Stephen Koepfer, Paul Varacchi, Press Record Studios, and Breakfall Studios. This episode was engineered by Richard Butler. This show is powered by our supporters at Patreon and is a registered trademark of Film Fights with Friends, LLC. Original theme by Ahrue Luster.